fit with the capacity and the priority of the sites. So this is how you can organize a way of keeping, you know, the government at the top and giving the direction, but using these additional tools to complete it, to put some additional funding with the public budget. And that gives even some, this is what needs to be built on the ideal case. But still we are looking for, you know, experiences and trying to document this. And there is still a lot of to be learned depending on the condition, because you can imagine that the conditions in Peru are quite very different from the one in Madagascar, even today, you know. So even in the time or in the different regional part of the world, you could have different way of trying to implement this.
Well, thank you everyone. I know Grumpy's going to sum up a little bit for some conclusions. Thank you so much.
Just want to thank all the speakers, Ray and Julian for their great presentation on the comparison between conservation trust funds and project-specific finance. As you can see, there are advantages and disadvantages to both techniques, and really depending on the context of the projects, one may be better suited than the other depending on the type of conservation finance you require. Let's see. Very good presentation by Sandra on on the Madagascar Biodiversity Fund, which from my obviously it's a conservation trust fund, which has seen some great success. Basically, it's structured mostly as an endowment based on its mandates. Thank you to Fernanda for the presentation on Funbio and your Atlantic Forest Fund, which seems to be a combination. You have a bit of an endowment component there, but also some project financing. So it's good examples of different approaches. Thank you to Yoko and for her experience with the Jeff supported funds. As Yoko mentioned earlier on, Jeff was supporting more conservation trust funds and endowments, but now actually support a number of different types of conservation financing modalities. And I myself work for the Global Conservation Fund at CI. We also have a relatively large portfolio of conservation financing projects that we support. And although most of our projects are structured as endowments, we also have some sinking funds, some debt swaps, and so on. So similar, really depending on the project itself, we use a different modality that fits that project best. And then some very good questions. Just like to sum up, this is my first WCC, but much like here or when I actually am in the field or speaking to other people on conservation, there's constantly the issue of the fact that in the conservation world, money is very scarce. So those of us who actually work in conservation finance, we have a very big responsibility to be very smart with how we use the money. We don't have much money, it shouldn't be wasted, and the smarter we are, the more that money will actually go in and serve its conservation purpose. Not only will that achieve the greatest conservation results, but it will actually also attract more money to conservation. So an alliance such as the Conservation Finance Alliance is a great venue for sharing ideas and learning from each other how to be smart about conservation finance. So anybody in this audience who is in the world of conservation finance and is not part of the alliance yet, we would think the Conservation Finance Alliance would really appreciate your participation, both for your ideas and also so that we could share our ideas with you as well. So thank you, everybody. Appreciate your participation today. Thank you.
Now you can turn on your phone.
We're never going to call, right?
No, it's only when you're sitting up there. It's hysterical. I was chuckling away. It always happens that way, doesn't it?
You get this phone and maybe using it.
You know, it's a small point. I didn't want to make a question out of it. Risk for it. You only have as much market risk as government security, very safe, below where we're at. You know that.